And so as we were discussing a bit more, and Bex taking us to another property that he has called Kailiche, which was featured on Top Billing, I started to get this deeper sense that, I needed to explore myself a little bit more in terms of like maybe going out into the bush, learning more about conservation, and maybe using my comedy like around the guests that they have in the camp. And so the idea of us spending 30 days in the camp would be a welcome gimmick to try and get me more into the whole like wildlife space.
I honestly, you know what? I think what's fascinating for me is that he's a guy. I know I'm being a bit sexist, and he just has a way of, because he designed all these camps, and I've seen Kanga, I've seen Somalisa, and I've seen Zambezi Expedition, and he's got this feel of using natural wood, like your mopani gum trees, and he gets a lot of artifacts and stuff from different African countries. Like I remember there's this, I know it's weird, but there was a birth bed. I think it's from the Tonga tribe, if I'm saying it correctly. That was in the dining area. They had drums from all over Africa, different kinds of drums, weirdly used for emergencies. But I love his use of wood and copper, and I think I even remember seeing they made a table for the fireplace by using old fire extinguishers and what was it, wiring, and he used old railing material from railways. And yeah, so Bex has just got a really interesting and very nice eye for good things, I guess. I think they used, they've got these old doors in Zanzibar. I don't know if, these old doors, and they used those as tables.
So what ensued is a discussion with my wife of whether or not this was a good idea. In our heads we're like, this is not. And after some time of just like going on tour, when we decided to go on this homeless tour, we blocked out a period in June to decide, that we were going to go and do this whole thing at Kanga. So what I had to do is I wanted to be inspired and try and figure out how I can get enough stories, because we'll be sitting around the table, and I needed enough experiences that, the guests that are staying there would get a wholesome, feel of what we're doing from a comedy perspective. And so we traveled around Africa, went to different places, went to Namibia, went to South Africa, did some touring, went up to Zanzibar, collecting spices, going to the markets, learning about cooking techniques in Malawi, cooking on fires. There's so many different things that were happening there.
The journey to Zanzibar, the journey itself was a bit harrowing. Was we decided to take a road trip. This was also because we had been going around, we'd started the world tour in January, so we'd been going to different countries. We'd done like 4 or 5 different countries so far, and Carl had been cooking there. We'd done like a whole tour of South Africa, where we got to Durban, Cape Town, Joburg. And then went to Botswana just to kind of see what food is like in those different areas, and how diverse it is, and also just sort of for Carl to get inspiration on what to cook for Kanga, to be honest with you, considering Kanga is in Zimbabwe, Africa, but he really wanted to find out what else is out there and what sort of flavors he can come and how he can interpret them in his menus and recipes in Kanga. So going to Zanzibar, Zanzibar was what we termed, we were going there for seafood and the spices in Zanzibar. So that was one of the biggest reasons why we went to Zanzibar. Good morning. Good morning. And so what we did was we took a bus. So we decided to go through Malawi, and actually do a couple of days in Malawi, which was actually very awesome because we got to meet this young lady who actually is handling the whole traditional pot in Malawi, and Carl got to sort of experience the different Malawi dishes, which interesting enough are very similar to Zimbabwean cuisine, but have a different take in terms of the food itself. So we also got to see how Malawi does preservatives, which was great. So she had a little restaurant, so we went there and went to one of their open market. In Zimbabwe they're termed like chisanyamas, but it's a weird, I can't remember what the name they gave us in Malawi, but it's called Zone 3. That's how they named their area. So it was really good.
What's up? So we're in Area 13, which is like an amazing concept of like a food court, like the food courts that you kind of see in Asia, but we do it better in Africa. So you've got all these different stalls around, little mini restaurants, and there's like lots and lots of people that come here to eat, and so many different delicacies, things that I really love, like chicken feet that are wrapped around in intestines. You've got your tripe, you've got your okra, which is cooked, the way that we do in Africa, so nice and slimy and exciting like that. And then lots of different things that people have updated, very traditional dishes, and given them a bit of a twist. So really excited about this particular trip to Malawi.
My people, I try and work hard. But you go come and carry my things, you go. They say a fool's riches belong to one wise man. You can never ever send them out to get your peanuts.
Restaurant where this old lady does amazing calamari and lobster and tuna, and Carl just told himself he had to go to a fish market and try it's really good cooking seafood. So we went to a fish market in Dar es Salaam when we came back from Zanzibar, and bought this amazing tuna, amazing prawn, calamari. Prior to that, we'd gone to the Zanzibar spice market as well. So we got these really amazing spices, coriander, cumin. And I know it sounds like really simple, but the spices in Zanzibar are so pungent and so fresh and just really fragrant when you cook with them, both in taste and in smell. So it was really good. And he used that inspiration in Kanga when we eventually got to Kanga, which was really great.
You see my people, I try and work hard. But you go come and carry my things.
I think Carl is always trying new things. I remember I had a conversation with him about what's your favorite food and what's your favorite thing, and he had said something very interesting. He says, I don't have a favorite anything. I mean, he does, but he doesn't, if that makes sense. What I mean is he doesn't discount anything without trying it. So he's always up for new things, which is so weird because I'm so not like that. So he'll always try new food, new tastes, new sound, new everything. And I think he allows himself to be very open to new discoveries, which is very rare because some of us generally we're all settled in our ways and always want the one thing that we like, but he just generally doesn't have one thing that he likes. I think even in his own career as well, he's a creative, he's a producer, a comedian, a chef, a designer, an artist, an animator. So he's very life, and the essence of what he is and what he does is always about trying new things. And these are a few of the things that we know he's possible and capable of doing. So I think he's always up for anything new, and I think that's one of the things that makes him who he is and makes it easier for him to do cooking out in the bushes.